When you think of an AI superpower, you probably think of Silicon Valley, right? Or maybe somewhere in China. Well, what if I told you one of the most advanced, most exciting AI ecosystems in the world is in a country with fewer people than the city of San Diego? You heard me. Let's dive in and unpack the incredible story of Estonia. This is one you didn't see coming. I know what you're thinking. An AI superpower with only 1.3 million people? No way. It sounds almost impossible, doesn't it? How can a country that small even begin to compete on the global stage? Well, as you're about to see, the numbers tell a story that completely flips our assumptions about what it takes to lead in tech. So let's just start with the money. In the first half of this year alone, Estonia's startup sector, which is hugely driven by AI, raked in an unbelievable 2.42 billion euros in revenue. That's not some projection, that's not hype, that's cold, hard cash, showing this isn't just a fledgling scene, it's a full-blown economic powerhouse.
And get this, it's not growing, it's exploding. We're talking about a 167% jump in AI adoption by businesses in just a single year. That's the kind of hyperspeed growth that doesn't just change a few companies, it fundamentally transforms an entire national economy. AI is moving from a cool idea to the absolute center of how business gets done.
So what's pouring gasoline on this fire? It's brainpower from all over the world. A massive 78% of the startup visas Estonia hands out aren't even for founders. They're for hiring top-tier international experts to come work for existing companies. Think about that. They are strategically importing an army of specialists to scale up, and to scale up fast.
All right, so how on earth did this happen? Here's the roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll dig deeper into the numbers behind this boom. Then we'll look at the key pillars of their AI strategy. After that, we'll check out the fuel, the money, and the people. And finally, we'll look ahead to what's next. Okay, first things first, let's look at the hard evidence. These are the numbers that really show you what's going on behind this deep tech boom. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because it's a bit counterintuitive. While the amount of venture capital money raised actually went down, look at what happened to revenues. They shot up by 25%. This is a classic sign of a maturing ecosystem. They're shifting away from that growth at all costs mindset and are focused on building real, sustainable, profitable businesses. And this table really lays out that whole story in black and white. You can see the pattern right here. Funding is down, revenue is way up, and all the while, AI adoption is just going through the roof. Every single metric is pointing in the same direction. A strategic pivot towards quality and real-world results, not just chasing investor cash. And this quote just says it all. You've got these deep tech and AI companies making up just a tiny slice of the pie in terms of overall revenue, but they're contributing a huge slice of the tax revenue. So what does that really mean? It means they're punching way, way above their weight. These are incredibly high-value, super efficient companies.
So who are these companies? I mean, who are the actual players on the ground building this stuff? Let's meet the startups that are really defining what AI in Estonia is all about.
It really boils down to three key areas where they are absolutely world-class. We're going to look at autonomous systems, then identity and trust, and finally, this really cool cutting-edge field called Agentic AI.
First up, autonomous systems. And you may have actually seen these little guys rolling down a street or on a college campus somewhere. We're talking about Starship Technologies, a global leader in those last-mile delivery robots. And yep, it was founded by the same people who brought us Skype. And let's be clear, this is not a pilot program or some science fair project. We're talking over 9 million, that's 9 million completed autonomous deliveries. That's millions of coffees and groceries and packages getting to people without a human driver in sight. They have proven this technology works at a massive scale.
All right, next pillar, identity and trust. Now, this makes perfect sense because it builds on Estonia's history as a world leader in e-government. Their big vision is to basically become the trust layer for the entire internet, and companies like Veriff and Sentinel are the ones making it a reality.
So you've got this amazing contrast. On one side, there's Veriff, an established unicorn using AI to verify your identity online, often more accurately than a person could face-to-face. And then you have the next generation, like Sentinel, which was founded by ex-NATO cybersecurity experts of all people to fight the threat of AI deepfakes. It just shows you how deep this ecosystem runs.
Okay, so for this third pillar, you might want to buckle up because this is where it gets seriously futuristic. It's called Agentic AI. Now, this isn't AI as a simple tool, like a spell checker, that helps you. No. This is about AI agents that can run entire complex business processes all by themselves.
and the company leading the charge here is called Pactum AI. What they do is pretty mind-blowing. Their AI agents autonomously negotiate procurement contracts for huge Fortune 500 companies. They can handle thousands of these negotiations with suppliers all at the same time, something that would be completely impossible for any human team.
So all of this amazing innovation doesn't just spring up out of nowhere, right? It needs fuel. So let's look at the secret sauce, the capital and the talent, the money and the minds that are powering this whole thing.
The money side of things is really mature. You've got these key local venture capital firms that really know deep tech. But the coolest part is this powerful informal network they call the Skype Mafia. These are the folks who were there for the original Skype success story, and now they use their money and, more importantly, their expertise to fund and mentor the next generation.
Now, what about the people? Well, we have to be honest here. The data shows a pretty big gender gap at the founder level in deep tech. About 83% of founders are male. That's a real challenge the ecosystem needs to address, but it's not the whole story.
Because check this out. Here's the critical counterpoint. Even with that founder imbalance, Estonia actually leads the entire European Union in the share of women working as ICT specialists. So what does this tell us? It suggests the underlying talent pipeline is way more diverse, and that is a very, very hopeful sign for the future. All right, so let's bring it all together and look to the future. Where does Estonia go from here, and what challenges lie on the road ahead?
Look, there are still hurdles for sure, but Estonia's big strategic bet is crystal clear. They aren't just trying to build any kind of AI. They're laser-focused on creating trusted, autonomous systems that can handle incredibly critical tasks. And that really brings us to the ultimate question. Could this tiny nation's unique focus on trust and autonomy end up defining the next generation of AI for the entire world?
And just a quick heads up before we go, this information was put together using a mix of manual and AI-powered research. So, as always, we definitely encourage you to verify any of the details for yourself. Thanks so much for watching.